Today in cloud gaming news, Stadia sees a new game announced, plus a potential teaser for a huge racing game on Stadia. We also take a look at the Geforce Now and Boosteroid recently released games. With that, let's jump straight into the news. Stadia does get the official word that Atari will be releasing Yars Recharged onto the platform. This is a completely brand new title not released anywhere else. It's essentially a reimagined game from the Atari days. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the Atari games I know so far have seen a lot of success on Stadia, but typically overall, they're not my type of games. This one though caught my attention. The arcade mode is a rush of 30 bosses you fight, which I love. And looking at the gameplay, there's some strategy here and some really fun looking gameplay. This is easily a must buy for me if they continue to keep the price low on these. And honestly guys, it looks like the best Atari game to come out of the entire batch for me personally. It also does feature co-op as well, so you can jump in with a buddy. So I have to say I'm very excited for this one. It does also say here on the Steam store page, it's the only place where I could find a release date, that it's set for August 23rd. All right, jumping to our next piece of news, and we're gonna have to take all of this with a grain of salt and put it on the speculation list, but a gentleman on Twitter named MaroNL3, who seems pretty legit, it says he's a video game industry analyst and is actually followed by credible people who I do follow for inside gaming news. But again, take this, as I said, with a grain of salt. But he goes on to say that Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is releasing in 2023, and he has listed here Stadia, and he also goes on to mention other platforms. Then a friend of the channel, Stefan, followed up on the source, and he says the initial plan was to release on Stadia, but as I see on the website, it's not on the list of platforms now. Perhaps they shelved it along the base PS4 and Xbox One. So he's essentially saying it was listed on the website, and I guess none of us saw it, and that's very possible. Something similar like this happened with Dying Light 2. It was listed on their website, and we've yet to hear about that game coming in Stadia as well. So it's one of those guys that I think perhaps they're maybe working on it with Stadia, but it's probably going to come at a much later date. So therefore, they don't feel the need to actually list it right now because it wouldn't be a day and date release. And I mean, there's also quite a few other scenarios that could happen, like maybe the game actually just flat out got shelved and it's not coming to Stadia, period. But I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention either way in case we do see an announcement of this game. With that guys, last week I talked about some features that were potentially headed our way on Stadia. One of them got me very excited, but apparently there was even more. This was found by Jack from Stadia Dosage, who says he found some stuff about sports immersive match, so maybe something linking to like esports. This does make me think that the Stadia tech could be used for immersive stream for games with something related to competitions or something along those lines, especially since the string of lines do say immersive. As I've said in the past before on this channel, cloud gaming is really a great way to mitigate any cheating and really put everyone on a level playing field, since all participants in any kind of gaming competition would be on the exact same hardware with cloud gaming. There would be no slight upper hands anywhere. So I found it super interesting that this was found within that code. All right, jumping to our next segment, we're going to take a look at the games released lately here for Geforce Now. There's some notable ones here for me. Loopmancer certainly looks good. We have Wonder Boys the Dragon's Tap. This is on Epic. It's completely free to redeem, and then you can play this on Geforce Now. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. So you get a free game that you claim on Epic Game Store, then you go ahead and launch that game on Geforce Now. Go check that out. The rest of the games here are as follow. A notable mention for Titan Quest Anniversary Edition. This is an old school Diablo game. I played it before. I liked it. It definitely shows its age these days, so look up some gameplay videos, but the game's about $5 right now on the Epic Game Store. All right, jumping to our next segment, Boosteroid comes in with 11 new games on the service. Immediately, I noticed Stardew Valley. This is an amazing game, one that I think everyone should play. You don't even need to like the farming type games. It's just an amazing experience, and it's, I think, one of the best selling games, indie games of all time. Then another game here, I'm a big fan of The Long Dark. I've actually put a ton of hours into that one. The Stalker series, and there's quite a few more games here. Kenshi's another solid title. So Boosteroid looking as consistent as I ever imagined now that I'm starting to cover them and follow it, and I love seeing it, guys. With that, stay tuned for my experience with the platform, as I definitely have some thoughts on it. And if you guys want to see the latest cloud gaming news, click the videos on the screen.